is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All righty. Time to talk a little Canes. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. That is Manny Navarro. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. And more importantly, catch his work there at The Athletic like I do every single day. Manny, the bomb was dropped yesterday, my brother.
Yes, it was.
They eliminated Blake James, and it's a good move. Is it the first of two moves, do you think, this offseason?
Well, it certainly looks that way right now, Big O, because I would imagine whatever athletic director comes in here or is in the process of being hired would be somebody who would want to bring in his own football coach, right? I mean, the mission here is to restore Miami to a place where it was a long time ago and get it back to competing. People in the administration have told me that this is a business and they want to run the athletic department as a business. And right now, as a business, it's failing. It is not living up to expectations. So my guess is, yes, it's inevitable that that's going to happen. Could it not? Is there any chance that Manny Diaz keeps his job at this point? Sure. I think if he finishes the season strong, Miami finishes the year with 3 blowouts. I don't think you necessarily fire him right away if they win their last 3 games and show drastic improvement. I know that there are a lot of players invested that he's recruited the last 2 cycles that they want to keep around here. And if you fire Manny Diaz right now or a week from now, that puts you in a precarious position. It opens the door for other schools to come in and pluck those guys. So I think Manny Diaz sees at least the end of the regular season. That's what I was told yesterday. And I think that his performance and the team's performance over the next 2 to 3 games will have a say in that. But yes, you're asking me long-term what I think happens. I think the next athletic director probably wants to hire a new football coach.
Okay, so and I got to see it. I still got to see it to believe it.
Right.
Because I got to see the proper changes that you need to make. And one of them is what you're just talking about right now. If I see a new AD come in and say, well, I'm going to address the head coaching position over the next year. I'm going to see what Manny does and this and that.
Happen.
If that happens, then that's the administration once again saying, yeah, we're too cheap to pay off 2 years, so let's wait another year before we make the changes. That'll be strike number 1 in me not believing that they really want to make a change.
Correct. And I could see you saying that. At the same time, too, I think you want to hire the right guy. You want to hire the guy that's going to come in here. You don't want to hire another guy who's going to come in here and fail. So I think that if Mario Cristobal or Lane Kiffin, if Miami's serious about spending money, right, if that's really what they are, and they're swinging for the fences and they do what they need to do to get one of those 2 guys here to replace Manny, and it's possible, then I think, they pull the trigger and they make that happen. But if there's no good coaches available in their minds, or the athletic director feels like, hey, Mario's going to stay at Oregon and Lane's going to stay at Mississippi or jump to another job in the SEC that pays them more money, and we can't meet that standard, then maybe they keep Manny.
Miami doesn't have money to compete with Ole Miss anyways.
You would think so, based on history.
They have the money, but I shouldn't say that. They have the money, but they've never shown that they'd be willing to spend the kind of money that it would take to take away an SEC coach. Let me not just say Ole Miss, an SEC coach.
Correct. And what I was told and what I reported, 3 weeks ago now was that Miami ultimately said they were going to spend money. Right. That's what I said. That's what they sought out to say, that they were serious about making this thing right, and supposedly made a lot of money off of UHealth. Right. And this is a business. They view this as 3 businesses: academics, the medical business, and the athletic business. And the third business right now is not cashing any checks. Right. So and listen, the way everything was shaping up at that point of that meeting, it totally made sense that Blake would be the first to go, because if you're going to do this right, you need the next athletic director to make the hire, not a bunch of guys who aren't athletic directors.
Blake failed already in his attempt to get the coach. Now, he had limitations. So here we go again. And I talked about this earlier on the show. I don't want anybody telling me that Kim Eng isn't doing a good job until I know that Kim Eng has a checkbook. If
Right.
you don't give that woman a checkbook, don't ever tell me that she's doing a good job or a bad job, because in baseball, if you can't spend, you can't win, dude. I'm sorry, you're not going to do it.
At
If
best, you're the Tampa Bay Rays, if that's the case.
right. Yeah, or you're hoping for 2003 Marlins or whatever it was, 2015 Royals.
Right.
That you're hoping for lightning in a bottle, that you get a whole bunch of young guys to have career years and then the team disappears, right? That's that's like, and you know how rare it is that I can only come up with those two examples, actually. Outside of that, everybody else had to spend money. And that's why the Rays and the A's end up falling short, because, Theo Epstein said, I like that money ball, but I'm going to add money to the money ball and then I'm going to win. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, okay, so people start talking, oh, Gino Torretta, this and that, and whatever. I don't care what AD you hire. Are you going to give this AD the checkbook? Because if you don't give him him or her the checkbook to buy the coach, the OC, and the DC, we're just spinning wheels, dude. That's all we're doing.
And I'll guarantee you that Mario Cristobal and Lane Kiffin wouldn't come here unless they're guaranteed that they're going to get that kind of money. So if they don't come here, it could be that they're just not given everything that they need. But again, I repeat what I was told, though, from somebody in the administration: money will not be an issue. That's what they said. We'll see if that lives up to be true or not.
Well, I'll tell you this. I don't think Cristobal would be a moron to leave Oregon and Nike money for anything, because he has the easiest road to a championship if he just takes care of business every year in the Pac-12.
Absolutely.
And dominates. He'll be in the playoffs every year, but you can't go losing to some of these teams like Washington or whatever, like he's done. And that's why you're out of the race. And that's why the Pac-12 will be out of the race. And if you're Lane Kiffin, you're not leaving the SEC for the University of Miami. But I'll tell you this. I'm looking at Luke Fickell in Cincinnati, and that guy's actually doing one hell of a job at that place. That might be more of the realistic type of guy that you can get, instead of the two guys that are already in terrific positions right now and making a boatload of money. And the buyouts alone for those guys are going to be absolutely brutal. And if I'm correct, I believe Luke Fickell is coming up for his deal. I think he either has 1 year left or it's done this year, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I don't have his contract in front of me. I'd have to look at it again, look at what all the numbers of all these coaches. But essentially, the bigger thing here for Miami is there's a lot of other schools with head coach openings right now. USC and LSU, right? Those are two prime jobs that you'd say they'll get the first pick over Miami, because they have on-campus stadiums.
They spend more money, and
they spend more money. Right? All those other factors that come into play. So if Miami's going to do this, they're really going to have to spend to land a high quality coach. And Virginia Tech, obviously they threw up the white flag today and said that's it, we got to enter firing their coach Justin Fuente. So there's going to be a lot of musical chairs in college football here in the next few weeks and months ahead. And whoever takes over this AD job for Miami, if he's going to make the coaching change, he's going to have to be aggressive. And he's going to have to work fast, because the opportunities are going to be limited as far as quality, proven head coaches that can come down here and get the job done.
So who's the quality, proven athletic director that they need to hire?
Well, with Miami ties, I mean, Clemson's AD, Radakovich, has Miami ties. So, you could always say, hey, go out there and steal Clemson's AD. That's one way to beat them in the ACC, right? But beyond that, I mean, all of these guys that it's not like there's big AD jobs, big name ADs everywhere. They're only as good as who backs them financially, each and every single one of them. So I think from a Miami perspective, one guy that I've heard over the years has always had interest in it was Gino Torretta, because he is a business guy. He does work in the business world and has at least that experience. He's obviously national champion, Heisman Trophy winner. He's the kind of guy that I think would, from a never having done the job before perspective, but at least knowing Miami and knowing knowing the business world, he's somebody I would consider if you don't already have a proven AD that you can bring.
Yeah,
in.
but I know Gino. He's going to say, "Are you going to give me a checkbook? If you're not going to
Yes.
give me a checkbook, I'm
Yes.
not taking his job." Gino's
Correct.
no dummy. Okay.
No.
Now let me run it. Let me run a name. I don't know the name actually.
Mhm.
Who's in charge at UCF? That
I
guy's
don't
done a
know.
phenomenal. That guy's
I don't
done a
know either now
phenomenal
because of
job.
all the shuffling that was going on there with coaches and whatnot. I forget the name of the coach there. The other one was the FAU AD, Mike something.
Yeah,
I mentioned him.
but the guy at UCF has done a monster job.
Right.
Monster job. I mean,
Yeah.
they put their football team on the map. They got a stadium, on campus stadium.
No, he's a good.
Their
He's
athletic program overall is actually pretty good.
yes. I mean, in the end, all of this again comes down to how are you going to empower this guy? What are you going to surround him with, right? What kind of resources? Miami previously was discussing creating a football sort of czar position for Alonzo Highsmith, right? With all the experience that he has as a scout, let him be in charge of the football program. I don't know how that plays in with the new athletic director because every athletic director, they take a job because of the football program. That's the moneymaker. And if they're not going to be in charge of the football program, then maybe you go off into another sort of area of how you work this out. Maybe you don't need to hire a big name athletic director and you just have Alonzo Highsmith be the football czar and hire somebody who's going to be a good complement to him. But that takes a special person who's willing to let somebody else handle football. So it's complicated, man. I don't know where they're at. I know this. I know they want to try to make the decision quickly. There's 2 weeks left in the regular season. Kids are going to start to enter the transfer portal. Everybody's wondering if Manny's going to keep his job. That's going to hurt recruiting more than it's already hurt it, right?
Yeah,
the losses. Right. So all of those things play a factor.
I don't worry about that because keeping Manny around is hurting you, period, anyway, because he can't coach. It doesn't really matter. So to me, you got to make this change. And whatever Band-Aid you've got to rip off, and if a couple players are part of that Band-Aid, it is what it is. But if you get the right coach, that coach is going to load you up with all kinds of players. And by the way, maybe they just go right up to Jacksonville and say, "Hey, Herb, come on down."
Well, I don't know. I mean, that whole incident in the bar, man.
They definitely would not do that.
I don't think they would do that.
Well, there's lots of bars that Herb could park his fingers at. I'm sorry. Just go ahead. I'm sorry.
It'll be an interesting few weeks here. As far as the FSU loss, we haven't even talked about that at all. I don't know if you cared to, but man,
no, it's just. I mean, it's just
a typical.
But it is just
typical finish, flop at the end for him.
Yeah. 4 billion mistakes, 4th and 14, whatever. I mean, what are we going to hammer out the same thing that it's just a poor coaching staff? And, it was a nice little run for 3 weeks. The sun shines on every dog's ass every once in a while, and it shined on us for a couple of weeks, and we eked out a couple of wins there. We had some fun. The fun's over. That's it, and finally the administration said, yeah, it's over. Let's start this process already as it is. So in a way, from what I'm deciphering from what you're talking about, either you think they're going to work quickly on this, or you're suggesting that the University of Miami needs to work quickly on getting their AD before the season wraps up, before these bowl games are played, so you're already on the march for your coach. Correct?
Yeah, I think all of it goes hand in hand. You want that guy to be a part of the coaching search, or at least works well with the coach that you're going to hire, right? They have to have a good relationship. They have to be on the same page, just like NFL GMs and coaches, right? Or it has to be sort of a perfect marriage. So whoever, they look for, or whoever they end up landing, I think the faster, the better. And my understanding is they want to work swiftly on this because football ultimately is what the business is run on. It's not Jim Laranaga's basketball team. It's not whatever's going on with the baseball team. It is football. That is what pays the bills over there. That is what could take off if they ever got it right.
Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. And by the way, on the chat board, they really want to know, are you in the bathroom? Are you sitting on a toilet or something? Because it kind of looks like a bathroom that you're at.
No.
That's why. And it
I'm
does.
I'm in a
and
Starbucks.
Then there's a little bit of an echo, too. So
I
that's
apologize.
Why
yes.
So everybody's going, like, is he on a toilet or something right now?
I'm at a Starbucks, dude. I'm at a Starbucks. So there you go.
See, you
My
all
house is
have
under construction, man.
You all had him on the porcelain throne, and he wasn't there. He's at Starbucks. See, people have twisted minds. If I take a break longer than 2 minutes, they think I'm taking a dump. It's amazing. I come back and on the chat board, it's he's taking another dump. He's there. It's like, dude,
the mind wanders.
I'm just relaxing for 2 minutes, resting the voice. You know what I mean? It's not like we take 30 minutes of commercial breaks like they do in other places. We actually talk here. We actually give you content here. That's kind of the idea of all of this is content, not commercials. You know what I'm saying? But it's just funny, man. It's just funny. All right. So you got him winning this week at least?
I think so. I mean, Virginia Tech's got the coaching upheaval, right? In terms of this week, the coach literally getting fired midweek.
Yeah.
I would assume that would be a little bit of a distraction for him. And Virginia Tech offensively isn't that great. So they're not facing some sort of juggernaut who's going to light up the scoreboard. They're a decent team on defense, but I think Miami at home senior day, I do think they're going to play for those guys. They have all season, right? There's no quitting.
Yeah, they have.
So why would they do it now? Right.
Yeah, they
can
make
still get a bowl game
and all that, but they play hard. You're right about that. He hasn't lost the team.
This isn't the Florida Gators who just decided to play flag football last Saturday.
Yeah, Yeah, that coach, man, that guy.
That's another job opening. Think about it. What's a more attractive job, Big O, Miami or Florida?
Oh, Florida by miles. On
campus stadium. That makes all the difference.
No, and they'll spend like crazy, dude.
Yep.
I mean, they will spend. That's the thing. We don't have any history of spending, unfortunately. And in today's college world, we have to spend money in order to win and get the best coaches. So Florida is definitely the sexier job. I don't know if they're going to fire the idiot. I know I would, because wow, man, I'm more bothered by the things he says actually, and the way he thinks.
A lot of arrogance.
Stuff. Yeah, dude, and there's a lot of ignorance too in some of his stuff too, and arrogance and ignorance. It's just crazy. All right, follow him on Twitter, Manny_Navarro. Catch his work there at The Athletic, and catch him twice a week here with the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report. He'll be back on Friday. Manny, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
Anytime. Not in the bathroom, folks. Not in the bathroom.
You got it. There you go. Although Starbucks will make you go to the bathroom when it's all said and done. That's what it's all about. That's your Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report.